Electro-Anarchy.
Alright, let's do something a little bit cooler. Um, we've done the relay, and that's pretty simple. It's like doing an LED and whatnot. So let's do something else. One of them is the pulse width modulation. Um, now, these boards, as I understand it, this only has a single pin that is truly a pulse width modulation pin. But you can do something called soft pulse width modulation. Now, it's the library you want to do that off of is the OrangePi library. So step one is first of all you want to make sure that you know which one your pins are just by doing your GPIO read all. You pull up all your pins. Okay. Then, as far as the hardware setup is concerned, what you're going to want to do is kind of complicated here. What you're going to be using is you're going to be grounding your breadboard to your GPI expansion board. So make sure you're sharing a ground. You're going to need 2 relays and you're going to need 2 MOSFETs. Okay. Now, what I've done here is I'm running a relay to do forward and reverse. Forwarding and reversing the polarity going to the motor from the MOSFETs. I'm not going to go through all the wiring here. You can definitely look it up online and figure those out. It's not really that hard to do. But anyway, got a simple little motor here. We're hooked up on ports 24, 23, 22, and 21. Okay, so that's what we're hooked up. Now, the way this is set up is the MOSFETs are on 24 and 23, and the relays are on 22 and 21. Okay, now back up here. Now, I've been experimenting with different ways of doing things, and what I did is I created a GUI, and the way I did that was just set up a Python script. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, let's go back up here to the very top. Alright, so here at the very top, you're going to want to start off. You're going to import your OS, import system, or sys. You're going to import basically everything from tkinter, because that's what you're going to use to create your GUI. Input your TK font, import OrangePi, and import time, or from time you import sleep. That'll shut it down whenever you're done with all this. Keeps it from running all the time. Okay, you're going to turn your output to 1, so I'll make sure you input that. Then we're going to set up our pins. So the pin to forward is going to be 24, pin to reverse 23, forward relay pin 22, reverse relay pin 21. And you can pause this video and type all these different things out. Basically, we're setting up the wiring. We're doing the wiring.OrangePi setup. So we're setting up our OrangePi. We're setting up our pin modes, and we're going to create 2 paths for the pulse width modulation, which is going to be your pin to forward and your pin to reverse. And they're going to have the value is going to be from 0 to 100. So that's you want to make sure if you want it, if you want it to start at 20 and go to 100, or whatever you want to do as a variable, you can put that in here. Our window is going to be handled by our TK or tkinter. You set up your font for your window, and then you set up your definitions. Now here we're going to have just 2 definitions. We're going to have a forward and a reverse, because what we're going to do is instead of buttons or anything, we're going to use sliders. So this, we're going to set it up. Our current position forward is going to be a slider, and we're going to set it up to where it starts at your, it operates your forward relay pin as a 1 and your reverse pin as a 0. So it's going to basically go from 0 to 1, which is on and off. And we're going to do a soft pulse width modulation right. Our pin to forward, and we're going to do it by whatever the value is of your slider. So It took me a little while to get all this figured out and all this, but this works, and it works in real time, which you'll see in just a second. Same thing for reverse. It's just kind of reverse of the forward. Okay, we're going to basically call the Windows titles pulse width modulation slider, and our geometry is going to be, we're setting it at 800 by 400, but it's literally just locked to our sliders. So we set up our scale, which is going to be 0.0 to 100.0. Length is going to be 300, ticks every 5, and basic stuff here as far as setting up a slider. If you pull up an example, you'll see pretty much this same stuff here. We're going to set it at 0, so it starts at 0, and then we're going to pack it, and I just put a little padding on either side so that it looks a little bit better. And then set them so they set to the left, so they'll sit next to each other rather than on top or crazy stuff. So that's how you're going to want to set your side. Same thing, so we're going to have a forward and we're going to have a reverse scale, and then we're going to loop this. Okay, so once you get that, you can basically just go over to wherever you have it, and this one I have it named as the PWM slider constant. So you do sudo python the title.python py, hit enter, and here is our nice little slider GUI. Okay, let's see if I can get both of these things in camera at once. I don't know if I can or not, but let's see. Let's get this guy up here like this. Oops. Okay, so here we go, and we'll get this down here like this. Alright, so pull the scale down, speed it up, there it goes, slower. Okay, so that's one direction, and then we can pull the scale up and go the other direction. And of course this is a brushed motor, so you have to do a little bit before it'll take off. Woo, there we go. So that's basically it. You can, play around with this. There's a lot of different ways of. There we go. There's a lot of different things you can do with these type of things, hooking up radios and doing remotes and all kinds of really cool stuff. But anyway, that's just kind of an overview. If you guys really want me to get more in detail than this, I could definitely do that. I'm learning right along, and I'm just trying to pass on the few little tidbits I learned. And I've got some other cool stuff. I picked up an Xbox Connect module, really cheap, and I'm getting thinking about seeing if I can run the Connect module on this and seeing what I can do, and maybe come up with some cool, making my own GUIs and doing some different stuff now. So anyway, I hope you guys like this. If you do like my channel, please subscribe. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you don't, please give me a thumbs down and let me know why. As always, you guys take care of yourself. See you next time.